Hey guys, welcome to Blue Pill Podcast. This is Abe, your host. It is April 17th, 2025. Just woke up, playing some video games, drinking some coffee, playing Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. Stuck on it right now. I got 4 different files with 4 different characters. And I'm stuck, man, just doing some grinding. So as far as an update, not really much. Just been working. I got full time now, which is nice. My boss congratulated me, my big boss. I don't really see her much. She's kind of going to another store now. But I do have to say this, dude. I woke up to a text this morning that said, hey, you guys did amazing last night, closing up the store and stuff. And I was telling my wife, dude, like, if you're an employer or a manager or a boss, I do have to say this. Make sure to tell your employees they're doing good. At least every now and then. I have worked at so many places where I have never gotten a compliment like, hey, good job, man. You know, you're doing awesome. And I cannot tell you, like, how happy I am at where I work. With my crew is awesome. My coworkers, my bosses are awesome. I'm always getting messages like, hey man, you're doing amazing. You know, keep it up. You guys are kicking ass, whatever. And I don't know, man. I guess just like I'm a very paranoid person. You guys know that. And I need reassurance and to be told every now and then, like, hey, you're doing a good job, you know? Not that I'm like pushing my mental illnesses on my bosses or anything, but like just every now and then it's nice, dude. And I cannot tell you how many dog shit companies I've worked for and the bosses just never complimented you, and it's like, dude, that boosts my morale, you know. But yeah, dude, I was talking to my mother-in-law the other day, like, and this was before I got full-time. But I was telling her, I was like, dude, I know I'm not making as much money by the hour. I know I'm only getting 30 hours a week, I said, but my happiness level is like amazing compared to when I was working at Kroger. Just at Kroger, man, you would just bust ass and it was never good enough. You'd never get compliments. Yeah, I would have to go up to my boss and be like, was everything good last night? And he's like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, well, tell me every now and then. Like, you know, for one, it boosts my morale. Two, it's like, sometimes you would just bust ass and do it, and you would feel like you did amazing, and like, just, they didn't care. But then, like, the slightest little, oh, we didn't get one pallet done, you know, it would be like the end of the world, you know. But I don't know. That's it for an update. I just wanted to say that. I woke up to that text message today. I literally just woke up like an hour ago. And so if you're a manager, keep that in mind, dude. So let's get on with today. Our video, I'm doing a game review. I actually wasn't planning on doing a game review so quickly after the last one. But I recently... my wife bought me. So here was a game haul that happened. My wife had bought me Van Helsing for Easter as an Easter present, and I bought her like a little gem, a little stone that she can wear on her necklace. Because she's an occultist like me. Well, not really an occultist, but she's into like gems and magical stones and stuff. And I got a mood ring. It's over there somewhere. So I got every time I see a mood ring, I always get one. They're super cheap, and I just think they're neat. And I believe in them. I think they work. So she got me this, and I bought this one because it was like $5.99. I had to get it. Cartoon Network Speedway. You can play as Courage the Cowardly Dog, which is my favorite character. It's basically like a Mario Kart clone. Give me just a second. The dog's barking. I need to see if someone's here. My mother-in-law's dog, dude. Drives me nuts. He barks at every freaking noise. I think he literally was barking because he heard me in here. But yeah, it's a Mario Kart clone. I'm gonna do a review on it when I beat it. I just got it honestly because I love Courage the Cowardly Dog, and it makes me so sad that they never made a Courage the Cowardly Dog game. That's like perfect material for a game. I remember they had one game, and you had to go on CartoonNetwork.com to play it, and it was super horrible to load and stuff, which we had like dial-up internet at the time too, though. So there's that one, and I seen this for $3.99. It was Let's Ride. This one is Sunshine Stables. I beat the Dreamer one, so go check that review out. And I seen this. Literally, they had 2 or 3 carts of Let's Ride the series. So I beat one of them, the best one in the series. And I was like, for $3.99, I'm going to pick this one up and try this one too. So those are my 3 games that I'm like currently playing right now. I have a couple other ones, but those are the ones I'm actually trying to beat. So, I have not beaten this, but I'm literally on the last boss. So, I'm stuck on the last boss right now. I'm going to keep trying until I beat him. He looks simple, but at the same time hard. So, it's Dracula. You're Van Helsing, and you're like fighting him. You have to shoot him once. He transforms into his bat humanoid form, and he chases you. And the moon will shift, and the room will get dark, and you turn into a werewolf. You have to hit him while you're a werewolf, but that's only for like a limited amount of time. Yeah, and I just keep playing it over and over and over again, trying to beat it. It's rated T, so I don't know. I find that interesting. Every time I find a Game Boy game that's rated T or M or something, it's weird because Nintendo has always been a like very family friendly company, so it's definitely weird and interesting when you find a rated T or rated M game. So first things first, I'm gonna have to play this for you because this is ridiculous. Whenever you start the game, hang on. There's this weird fucking scream that he does on the title. I don't know why they put whose idea that was, but it is ridiculous. So I'll play it for you. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. A steak goes through the title and it's so ridiculous. First time I turned that on, I was like, oh god, this is gonna be cheesy, man. So I just had to say that. Speaking of cheesiness, so I seen the movie as a kid. I really didn't remember the storyline too much, but I remembered the story for the movie. It wasn't like super complicated. Basically, you're Van Helsing from Dracula the novel. If we got some time, we'll delve into that a little bit. But you go to a village in Transylvania. Well, first it starts off you're fighting Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So I guess he's kind of like almost like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. He's going around fighting like these like classic like famous mythical villains and stuff. So you fight him. He's like a first boss, first level. Beat him, and then you go to Transylvania. The whole mission is basically you're fighting Dracula and his wives and killing Dracula and his wives. That's it. You get with a family who the brother's a werewolf. There's a family curse, and if one of them dies, something about they can't get into the gates of heaven until they kill Dracula. You have a monk who's like the comedic value to the movie. I just remember the movie. Hugh Grant, or I think is it Hugh Grant? No, it's Hugh something. The guy who played Wolverine. By the way, Glenn Danzig was supposed to play Wolverine. How badass is that? Like, if there is alternate dimensions, I want to go to that alternate dimension and see that version of X-Men. That would be so cool. Because he's my favorite singer. I love Glenn Danzig. Um, Hugh Jackman, that was his name. I just remember my mom watching the movie, and as a kid, everything's cool, you know? And there's so many movies and stuff like I seen as a kid that I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then as an adult, you're watching it and like cringing, you know? I do remember being old enough, I was in like middle school, and I remember my buddies on the bus like doing the lines of Dracula, and I remember the acting of Dracula and his wives being super over the top and super cringy, even at that age. Um, like, he was just ridiculous. He reminded me of like the Count from Sesame Street. Um, and I remember my mom laughing about it, and there was one scene where you could see the boom mic coming in. Cheesy movie. My buddy at work, he's like, yeah, it still holds up. I'm like, I don't know, man. I haven't watched it in forever, but I just wanted to talk about the movie a little bit since it's based off of the movie. So there is tons of dialogue in the game. There's no cutscenes. It's all like just still frames of the location, the next level. And it pretty much kind of like Star Wars. It'll go through and give you a little synopsis of the story, you know, which I don't mind. It's expected with Game Boy Advanced, with that technology. I mean, it's possible to have cutscenes, but I understand why. It's not a must for me. Like, when I play a Game Boy Advance game, I'm not expecting, like, amazing cutscenes, you know. The game is, like, super short, which, to me, is not a deal breaker, and I understand why it's short, because, like I said, the movie, it's based off of a movie. The movie's only like an hour and a half, maybe. And I do remember this, watching the movie as a kid. I'm not sure how long the movie is. I think it's probably around an hour and a half. I'm just assuming, guessing, but it felt really short. I remember watching the movie, and it felt like a 30-minute movie, and I'm like, that was it? Like, maybe it's just the way the story was written, because it wasn't too epic of a story, you know, it wasn't too complicated, it was pretty simple and straightforward. So the movie felt super short. But the game hasn't felt super short, because I've had to retry on several missions. So it's weird. It's like easy, but hard at the same time. Like, the missions are really short sometimes, and then sometimes there will be a super long level. And they give you passwords after each level, which is an awesome plus. It is a password game. It doesn't bother me, though. I don't mind password games as long as you get a password after each level. It's like when I played Road to El Dorado, that was a little nerve-wracking of not getting a password until after like 3 levels. And you're on like your last life, and you're like, please don't die, you know? So that's a little frustrating. But, with that game, not this. This game, like I said, it's where it's such a short game. I see no long play. Hang on just a second. But, what was I saying? So passwords, sorry. This dog, man. Yeah, it doesn't aggravate me, because I was watching a long play. I always watch, not watch, but I check out long plays whenever I get a new game, just to see, out of curiosity, how long is this game. And someone beat it, and they weren't even like speed running either. Like, I seen they died a couple times here and there and had to redo fights and boss fights and missions and stuff. And they beat the game in like an hour. So this would definitely be, I wouldn't say you could beat it in one sitting. I mean, you probably could. Depends on how, I'm the type, like, I need to take breaks here and there. And it's a work week. Like if I played this on the weekend, I could beat it in one day. So if you're looking for a short game, this is definitely one. And honestly, dude, with Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy, like a lot of the titles you can beat either in one sitting or one day. Like the games are really short usually. Um, and this is a work week for me. I'm not on my 2 days off yet, so I've this is like day 3 of playing it. So that's kind of cool. Took me 2 or 3 days, because I'm busy and I'm doing stuff and chores and work, and so yeah, it doesn't seem super short to me. I would be curious if I actually replayed this on a day off. I am curious how short it actually is. Um, but yeah, speaking of replaying, since we're doing a review, I am going to bash on it a little bit. The replay value for this game is, I wouldn't say low, but I wouldn't say high. I would say it's like a medium. Um, it is a good game. I enjoy it. I like it. But there's no like extra features. Like zero extra features. It's a very straightforward game. Hey, collect gems, get weapons, beat bosses, beat monsters, enjoy the story, beat the game. Ta-da, that's it. There's no like extra features as far as like, hey, you like series of unfortunate events. They could have did that with this, like collecting still frames from the movie. That would have been cool. Just an idea, but zero extra features. Very basic game. It's made by Universal, and Vivendu. Universal, so Universal times 2. I guess that's maybe their video game company. Not sure. So replay value, unless you're looking for just something to beat in a day, and you've already beaten it. There's no difficulty levels either. The options are very simple. It's like when you go to the options, it's literally music volume and sound effects volume. Which, while we're on the subject, the music is super quiet. I could go to the options and turn it up. The sound effects are okay, but I am not gonna lie, this is a super quiet game. And like I said, I'm just too lazy to go to the options and turn it up, and I keep forgetting to. That, and it would be kind of annoying if I have to do that every single time, whenever I type in a password, so I haven't fucked with it, because that would be annoying to do that every single time I type in a password, every time I turn the game off, because there's no saving battery. So the music, I haven't even heard. I've heard like little fragments here and there whenever the room is really quiet or something, which I always play with the background TV. But nothing amazing. Like, I haven't heard the soundtrack and been like, oh, that's a really good soundtrack. If you played me a song right now, I wouldn't even know what game it's from, even though I'm playing that game right now. So, not very good music score. So, I had the PlayStation 2 version of this game growing up as a kid, and I don't know if it was because I was so young and just an inexperienced gamer, because honestly, I'm a huge gamer right now. I love video games and stuff, and I've beaten a lot of them, hence all the reviews I've done. If I haven't beaten a lot of them, I've actually gotten to at least the final boss. That's usually where I get stuck. But, I remember as a kid, it was kind of like a shooter, like third person over the shoulder shooter / hack and slash. And I remember just getting stuck on like the first level and not really liking the game, just feeling like it was a very generic. I was just like, I don't really like this game. And the only reason I got it was like $5 or something. Which price of this one was $10, which I didn't pay for it, but I didn't want to like ask my wife to get me something super expensive. I only paid like $10 for her gift, because that's all she wanted. She really didn't want anything else. I kept asking her, like, do you want anything else? You sure? It's an Easter present. I don't mind getting you something, you know, $20, $50, $50, around $50. I think that's decent, you know. Um, but so it's the PS2 version is what they would call. Everyone in the comment section was of videos and stuff, because I watch videos and stuff about certain games that I'm playing. Um, Everyone in the comment sections was saying this is a Devil May Cry clone. Um, the PS2 version. This seems different to me from what I remember from the PS2 version, so I wouldn't say the Game Boy Advance version is a Devil May Cry clone. That, and I've never played Devil May Cry. I've seen it a few times. My oldest brother was a fan. I was never really that into it. I never really tried it either too much. I played like 1 or 2 levels years ago when I was a kid. But everyone said it was like a Devil May Cry clone. This one, I would say it reminds me of almost like, more like a classic beat 'em up. There is top down, like forward traveling, and throughout levels. But a lot of the levels, you're kind of like, almost like side-scrolling beat 'em up. And the enemies swarm you. So it could be like either a beat 'em up / hack and slash. But there is a lot of like shooting in this game. So you get 3 weapons. The first weapon is disappointing as hell. It's the gun. And honestly, it's my favorite weapon in the movie. He has like this badass revolver. And you use it literally for like the first level. Each weapon, by the way, has unlimited ammo. I love it. I hate playing games when you have to collect ammo, and if it's a poorly designed game and they don't give you enough ammo throughout the game, that's so aggravating to me. So unlimited ammo with each weapon, I love it. If you're working in the field of video games, do that more often with games when creating one, you know. But one thing about, okay, the guns, that's what I was saying. The revolver, that was like one part of the game I was super stoked about, because I like third-person shooters. One of my favorite games, well, 2 of my favorite games is Dirge of Cerberus and Red Dead Revolver. Like, growing up, I loved third-person shooters. I can't stand first-person shooters, though. Except for, like, Wolfenstein 3D. And 007 GoldenEye. I'm a retro gamer. But, yeah, the gun does, like, no damage. You use it for, like, the first level, that's it. Like, I didn't use it past the first level. Because then you get the crossbow, which does more damage. I'm guessing because you're shooting wooden stakes. The gun, I'm guessing you're just shooting regular bullets. And you're fighting unholy entities like vampires and little goblin creatures. And then the third weapon is basically like, after beating Frankenstein, you literally get like an electric shotgun. Which kind of sucks. It does the most damage. It does like 19, 20 damage. Because there's RPG elements. Like when you are striking someone and hitting someone, it says like 5, 10, 11, you know, it's 9. It shows how much damage you're doing. Which, speak of the devil, dude. So this is a beat 'em up. So you get swarmed with a shit ton of enemies, and it takes forever to kill each enemy. Even just an average enemy, it'll take like, I'm talking like 10 hits to kill one guy. And sometimes you got like 4 or 5 guys on you attacking you. The enemies are way too strong in this game. So that's a complaint. They could have made them weaker. And sadly, the way I've been playing is like, each screen, I'll try to fight the enemies. If I can't, and I die, when I come back to that screen, I run from them. And I'm not the only one who plays it like that. Like, I've seen other people in long plays doing that. And it's sad, dude. I hate... Because, like, the whole point of playing a game is to, like, fight and enjoy and battle. And it's like half of this game I felt like I've had to run from enemies, you know? Because they're way too hard. There's way too many of them. And you're just way too weak. I wish that, honestly... that they could have done more RPG-ish elements, which a saving battery would have been nice if they went that direction. Like, as far as, like, leveling up Van Helsing, so that way you could make your attack stronger, your health could get stronger, something along those lines, like level ups. That would be cool, because then you could kind of grind. For one, it would make the game longer, if you were able to grind. So that would take care of the length of the game. Two, it would take care of how strong the enemies were. And I felt like they made the enemies strong so that way it takes you longer to beat the game. Which aggravates me. We all know the story with Echo the Dolphin, and if you don't, I'll tell you real quick. Like, the creator of Echo the Dolphin made the game super hard. Because back then, that was when you went to, like, Blockbuster and rented games for the weekend. And he didn't want kids to beat the game on the first sitting. So he wanted kids to rent Echo and struggle with it so they'd keep renting it. But the thing is I play games for fun. I'm a casual gamer. And when I'm playing a game, if it gets too hard and too frustrating, I'll try to a certain extent, but eventually I just give up and get frustrated, you know? So, I don't know. And another thing, too, with the fighting, when you're walking, it's normal. And one of the first levels, it was like a snow level, I believe. And I thought maybe it was just like, oh, this is a snow level. He's on ice, that's why it's like this. When you start fighting people, your character literally slides. Like he's on ice. If you've ever played like a game with an ice level, that's how it is during fighting sequences. I don't know whose idea it was. It is so annoying. It's so horrible as a... It's like, who thought this was a good idea? Like, you're literally sliding around your enemies and you have to, like... It is insane. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. It makes no sense. It's retarded. It's dumb. So, that's my opinion on the fighting as far as this game. The controls I thought were kind of weird. Like, select is to go through the weapons, which that one's fine. B is melee. Okay. You got the two little blade things from the movie. His little knife things for melee. A is shooting. I didn't like that. I thought it would have been cool to actually utilize the trigger button on... It's a Game Boy Advance game. It's not a Game Boy Color. It's not a Game Boy game. We have L&R now. It would have been cool to, honestly, use the trigger button. And I assumed that's how it would have been on the game. Like, oh, I got a gun. I'm going to use the trigger button. To me, that's kind of like a universal button for shooting. And the thing that aggravated with me is when you go to the options, like I said, the options are literally just sound effects, volume, and music volume. There's no control options. There's no difficulty options, which would have been nice too, because I always like to play and beat a game first on easy, then replay on normal, then replay on hard. You know, gives it replay value. So, yeah, the controls are kind of dumb on it. I didn't understand that one. Besides that, once you get used to it, it's pretty simple, but I always do forget, like, which one is jump and which one's hook shot. I think hook shot is L1, because you got a hook shot, and there's a couple cable sequences. Only, like, once or twice do you have to use it to get to locations, like, on rooftops or cliff ledges. And then right is jump. and you only have to jump literally on one part of the game. That's it. Besides that, jump is pretty much useless. Hook shot is pretty much useless. I think the only reason they put that in the game is because they're like, hey, remember on the movie he has a hook shot? Kind of cool, huh? Like, movie, like, cool. I guess little kids would be excited about that. I don't know. But I'm gonna wrap it up here. We hit the 30-minute mark. I have plenty more to talk about, but I'm not gonna sit here for an hour and talk about Van Helsing. I keep it short and simple. I would say 7 out of 10. It's not bad, but it's not amazing. Like, there's plenty of dialogue and storyline, and the storyline is actually cool. Now that I've played the game, I think what ruined the story for the movie is the acting and how cheesy the movie was. But obviously with this game, there's no voice acting, there's no cheesiness. One thing about the story, though, is there is like there's like one or two scenes that are like super anticlimactic. Like when at one point, spoiler alert, you murder the female lead's brother who's a werewolf, and you would think she'd be like, oh my god, you killed my brother, like, and he's just like, now you know why they call me a murderer. And I was like, wait, that's it? Like, so there's like two anticlimactic scenes where I'm like, I felt zero emotion in that. But besides that, the story's cool. The game is fun. It's a good game. It's okay. It's not amazing. It's not horrible. Those are my little beefs. The enemies are too hard. A level up system would have been nice. The controls, they're okay. I would have preferred, different controls. Password system's okay because of how short it is. It's fine. Not really much of replay value. It's an okay game. It's not amazing. It's not horrible. It's fun. It's neat. I'd go pick it up. If you can find it cheap, go pick it up. I got it $10. It's worth $10. But 7 out of 10. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe. I am trying to get up to 500 subscribers, so please do sub. Love y'all. Y'all have a good day.